I guess the rhetoric around Leeds is maybe out of the last 2 seasons, going into the third one, if we once again go on that general consensus and you listen to reports and hear people speaking who apparently know stuff, but still, Leeds are maybe the best placed side to go up and maybe do something. Do you buy into that, Ben, or do you think it's just it's a very easy thing to say?
Well, I'll give my view. Obviously, I'll let you lead on Leeds because you know more about them than I do. We are in a position now in football, Connor, where um, unfortunately, and I think this is the reason why people say Leeds are the best place to survive. I mean, obviously they're the best place to survive because they finished first in the
Yeah,
league and scored 100 points. I mean, so did Burnley and it was goal difference, but you
yeah.
know they are the highest ranked team from the Championship last season. But the argument often boils down to historic significance. You know, a golden period with Revy, a title win, a massive fan base, which is probably more relevant in terms of commercial deals. The Sunderland fans will argue about the number of people through the door, but look at the commercials and the eyeballs
Mm,
worldwide. Spend 5 minutes with someone who works in TV and watch their eyes light up when you mention Leeds United because it is a license to print money in the TV world. Unfortunately, we're in a position, Connor, where that has less relevance than Bournemouth having stayed in the Premier League for the last 3 years because of the chasms and because of PSR. Unless you're going to, which some people argue is the right thing, unless you're going to do a Mr. Marinakis and what Forest did and just
yeah.
say, we can't do it unless we breach,
Mm.
but we're going to go for it. We're going to breach. If we get deducted 4 points, we're going to make the gamble and hopefully we can still survive. So when you say to me, Connor, and you know more about Leeds than I do, that they're maybe the best place from of the three, do you agree with my take that yeah, just because they were incredible through the 1970s and won titles and built up a massive worldwide fan base, it's almost less relevant now than it's ever been.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the whole. I don't want to bring them into it as well, but it's there's a lot of the big clubs now, isn't it? Sheffield Wednesday, it's Sunderland. It's all these sleeping giants that people will coin them as being in the Premier League now, and that gets you to a certain point. I think 100%. If like Leeds are going up, let's say with the greatest of respect with Burnley, I think maybe it gives Leeds a little bit of an edge. But like you just quite rightly said, Ben, with teams who have been in and around that Premier League circuit now for a period of I mean 6 to 10 years. Who cares? Who really cares? If Brentford and Bournemouth are going for a player up against Leeds United, Brentford and Bournemouth 99% of the time will get that player. And I think maybe the edge that we as a Leeds United fan had last time was maybe Marcelo Bielsa giving us that edge as well. It's not only have you got a club who's back there, similarly to that of Sunderland, you're coming back after a long time, but you've then got that almost ace card in Marcelo Bielsa, who is one of the some would argue the best coach that is of all time, and obviously he's referenced to by Simeone, Guardiola, etc. So that might have given us a little bit of an ace card when it comes to bringing in Rafinha, Rodrigo, Robin Koch, players of that ilk at that time. That's something to take into consideration as well. Maybe the managerial pull, which is huge as well when it comes to maybe a young player coming in because they know they're going to be fighting against relegation throughout the entire season as well. So they need convincing, don't they? I would suggest, Ben, that for Leeds, maybe the ace card is right now. They can show them a very, very relevant example of a player coming in the Premier League and who is now up for contention as a Ballon d'Or winner in Rafinha. So that will be the blueprint. That will be the sales pitch, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Let me just talk about Bielsa first. Agree with everything you said. What Bielsa didn't have though was the 17 thing. No one was talking about the 17 in what year did Leeds? It was 1920.
Yeah.
Leeds went up where there was this run before of basically the teams bouncing, and we go into year 4 now where the same 17 clubs have received the TV money of double or God, whatever,
Yeah.
10x of if you're not getting parachute payments. So yeah, as much as Bielsa and his pattern of play with Bielsa, isn't it? You just go up with this glorious pattern of play, and it's just like, nope, screw it. We're going to do exactly the same thing, and okay, we'll get battered one week, but score enough points to win, ninth position. And yeah, it's a great point you make about Raphinha, and we already spoke about Ross Barkley, didn't we? We mentioned Raphinha. I can talk about Liam Delap. I think Liam Delap was the best signing any of the promoted teams made last season. Couldn't have gone any better. But here's another thing that is absolute killer for the promoted teams. If you're Liam Delap's agent, or whoever Liam Delap is this year that's going to negotiate with Leeds, you come to Leeds and you can say, okay, we're interested. We're sticking a £30 million release clause in the deal if you go down. And even if Liam Delap scores 12 goals, gets into England under 21s, and is arguably worth £50 million, he's going for 30 at the end of the season. So you can have Liam Delap, and it's going to go brilliantly, work out perfectly, but you ain't cashing in on him at the end of the season. And take it or leave it. Okay, we'll take it. We want him. So there's that negotiation side of it as well, that if you want to get a Raphinha, who's a unicorn, so is Ross Barkley, so is Liam Delap in terms of those deals, that you almost don't get paid on the back end of it now, because the agents have got such a fair play to Liam Delap's agent, did his job absolutely brilliantly there. And where's Liam Delap and where are Ipswich?
Exactly, yeah, and there's a lot of conversation as well, wasn't there? With, I know the Ipswich fans and stuff who I follow online. It was 50 million for Liam Delap, 50 million. Then you see him go to Chelsea for 30 million. It's like, ooh, okay, good, but
not bad.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's another problematic standpoint when it comes to these teams going up. And yeah, it's interesting maybe when we're talking about the framework of going up as well, Ben, when we kind of look at maybe Trafford and we look at Esteve and we look at maybe Brownhill in there, and then you look at Sunderland and you look at maybe Trey Hume, Dennis Sirkin, and then maybe Leeds when you look at the likes of William Yonto and maybe Altanaka, players who can acclimatise to the Premier League, you feel anyway when you look at their attributes, etc. Do you think that some of the, who do you think is probably best placed when it comes to the framework of going up this season? The players that maybe you feel could acclimatise with a bit of additions added, toward the squad as well.
Well, you mentioned a few of them. Can I just quiz you as a Leeds fan? Who would you put from Leeds in that? Ampadu?
Yeah, I'd probably say Joe. I'd probably say we've maybe got 6. Maybe I'm being a little bit optimistic there, but I would probably go Joe Rodon, who I think's been exceptional this season. I probably would say was a Premier League player. We'll wait and see on that one. But I would then go probably Ampadu, Tanaka, and then a little bit further forward, I still would say Nonto. I think he was one of our star players last time, and I don't think football's linear, Ben. I think you can be not as great in the Championship. That doesn't mean that you're going to be poor in the Premier League.
What a mind-blowing concept, Connor, hey?
Yeah, I know, yeah. I always say to people, it's like, look at Patrick Bamford, scored, 15 goals in the Championship. Next season, he went to the Premier League, scored 17.